Happy Friday! It's Q&A day. Are you guys ready? Bring it. Let's go. There we go. Here they come. Yay. Who's going to be the first one to say something? Let's see what we got. I see Mary Ann and Haida. Hello, guys. There's Diane. Hi, Diane. And there's, okay, Mary Ann, first one. Another Mary Ann. Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, Cynthia. Come on down. Hi, Sue and Melissa. Good to see everyone. Doris. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Watching while I'm in the sea office. Nice. I don't know what that means, but if you're in the middle of the sea and saying hello, I'm very honored that you would do that. So I have, everybody's asked me and I brought it upstairs. This is hot milk mix, guys. I will tell you what hot milk mix is. This is, hi Dawn, I know who Fred Brown is. I know who Fred Brown is. Hi Sharon. I start right now at this time. I start drinking my hot milk mix. Hot milk mix is basically electrolytes plus MCT oil plus exogenous ketones. Okay, these are the only ones on the market that are safe for you. There's some ones out there that could cause some damage. There's a lot of problems. You can do a Google search on that. So altogether, everything in here is going to make you feel good. We have people who are using this for leg cramps and all kinds of things, but it's the perfect balance of electrolytes. Everything in here, the MCT oil puts it on steroids, and this is in the shop. So, you know, if you want this, go grab it. My suggestion is you grab it. It's the best stuff ever. I drink it from 1 to 3 every day. I switch to tea. I drink water in the morning and coffee in the mornings. At 1 o'clock, I start with this. Switch to tea at 3 o'clock. And then, you know, it's time for dinner and all of that stuff pretty much later. So, hello. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. So today, what is today? Today is Friday. You know, FriYay! It's good. It's a good day to be here, isn't it? And I appreciate all of you sharing. And I have something absolutely wonderful to tell you about. You know how we give away books? Well, I have 2 books in December as my gift to you. This is gonna put this sharing on steroids. I have a feeling, okay? Because I have 2 of these books, 2 body clutter books. And both Marla and I will, she doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to make her do it. Both Marla and I will sign this book to you. But I'm going to give 2 away in the month of December. That means we're going to be looking for the person who shares the most and the person who is giving out a great testimonial about why the sprint works, why you are in the programs that you're in, and woo-hoo! Who wants a body clutter book? Signed. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, we just do all the cool things because that's who we are. Anyway, so we have those 2 things, and I'm going to be starting that up in December. Right now, it's we have a body clutter book. We have a few others. I mean, not a body. I'm sorry, a low carb book and a few other things. Also, if you don't track it, you don't know where you started from, right? We've discussed that. And part of courage, according to Peggy Noonan, is simple consistency. That's all. It is simple consistency. Consistency is the best thing that we can do. I'm excited about the Hot Milk Club too. Cassie, thank you for joining. This is going to be fun. We had our webinar last night. You can still go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's savingdinner.com/webinar. And I will tell you right now that we have a discount code that is good until Sunday. So if you are thinking about something like this, if you need some accountability, you want to have a one-on-one with me, a nutritionist for over 25 years, this is the way to do it. Just hop on over there, go to savingdinner.com/webinar, and you can see all of that. Tracking. Hello, tracking. This is one of my favorite tools. It keeps all of my it keeps everything quiet, and you see I've got the double padlock on there. This is my private information, and I keep everything there. And I surprise myself sometimes. I'll go back and I'll look and I'll think, oh, nothing's happened, and my measurements are there. And what do you know? There's 3 inches that are gone, and no wonder my jeans are baggy around the waist. So this is a good thing for you to do, because listen, the scale is only one teeny weeny measurement. The biggest thing that we need to do is take a look at what's going on. Body composition is all the things. We have to be looking at that. And while we might not see something on the scale, there is body remodeling going on the inside. And we need to be just as grateful for that as, smaller jeans. Because at the end of the day, don't we want our health? Don't we want to be the kind of grandparent that plays with our grandchildren on the floor, takes them on hikes, takes them and shows them the beautiful places that we live? These are the things we need to be thinking about. We need to be thinking into the future. And you might not be of the age of where you're thinking about grandchildren. I certainly am. You can talk to my daughter about that. And this is crucial stuff. We want to be those old crotchety ladies in our 90s who are still driving. We want to be the kind of lady that we get respect, that they say, oh, here she comes. She's 95 and she is as sharp as a tack. She does things. She's this, that, and the other thing. We have to project into that kind of a future. Healthy and vibrant. If you want to be a healthy, vibrant woman, throw down the heart, sister, because that is going to be me. Mark my words. I will be doing these Facebook Lives, and you will say, here comes that crotchety old Leanne. She is fabulous at 95. Yeah, and I will tell you at 95, I'm only, I've got another 25 years to live, because I'm going to be living to be an old lady, an old, vibrant lady. That's me. Is that you? Heck yeah. One of the ways that we do this is that we plan for our future. We start looking at not just letting the time pass. We don't sit and waste time. We value time. Time is of the essence. Am I right? Just throwing your time away is just, that is just so wasteful. This is Take Back Your Life. It's a journal for women who want more. And we break down the whole year into 3-month sections so that we can get things done in those 3 months. So we can see the change, so we can get excited about it and build momentum and make things happen. It does. It absolutely 100% does. This works. And I'm going to be doing a workshop on this. I want to bring you all into my little fold and show you how exciting creating your own a life worth living can be. We're just not chore doers, and we have a task list constantly. We have a purpose. I want to celebrate that purpose. I want my purpose to go down. That's my legacy, you guys. That's your legacy, right? We have legacies not only to leave, but to live now. How exciting. Who wants to live their legacy right now? I do. I want my legacy right now, today. We can do that. We are not trees. We're not planted where we are. We have the ability to move mountains. The Bible says so. I believe it 100%. I believe it with all of my heart. I've seen it. I've done it. And you can too. Yeah, I'm not the only one. So in the sprint group, by the way, if you haven't been in there today is the day to hop in there. If you're a part of our sprint group, if you're not, what on earth are you waiting for? It is 100% free. savingdinner.com/sprint. Pick it up. In the sprint group, we have limericks going, and they are fantastic. Yesterday, we did haikus. Today, we're doing limericks because we are those fun people. Not only are we going to be old, vibrant, and incredible, but we're going to have a great sense of humor. We're not going to take ourselves so seriously, and we are going to enjoy ourselves as a tribe, as a people, because that's what we do. I love it. I am having the best time with everybody's limericks. I'm just sitting there laughing. Ha ha ha. It's so great. I mean, yeah, let's do that. So today is Q&A day, by the way. And I have any kind of questions that you want to throw in there. I throw it in there. I would say send them in to support@savingdinner.com. And last week we only had a few. This week we're on fire. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. That was profound, wasting time going around and around circles. Yep. Thank you, Marla. So I put all these questions here, and it's super time to get going because guess what we're going to do? We're going to get these questions answered, and those questions, everybody that is listening to them, if this resonates with you, you are now going to have some action plans because I'm going to give them to you. You know, I love it. When we take action, our lives change. When we decide that enough is enough, Marla was talking about sugar today. It was just incredible. Did you know that a tablespoon of ketchup has more sugar than a donut? She had that in the sprint group today. My jaw dropped. I knew it had a lot of sugar, but I didn't know that much. But information is power when we use it and we put it into action, your life changes, right? So that's what we have the opportunity to do with these questions because some of these might resonate with you. So Marianne is asking, if I put a scoop of collagen powder in my morning coffee, will that break my fast? Yes. Is there a way to share your daily videos other than on Facebook? Yes. They are, Marla has them on FriYay. She has them in, she has a whole thing, a whole little playlist for my videos, which I really appreciate. Ours, we put them on ours too. So youtube.com/savingdinner, you should be able to see them there as well. So that's how you can share. Now, understand food breaks a fast. We can get away with a lot of things. We can get away with just a little bit of fat here, and we can go low and what have you. But anything that's going to stimulate insulin, which is food, is going to have that kind of an effect. So yes, you are breaking a fast when you do this. If you want to stay without breaking a fast, it's all about, black coffee, water, and that kind of a thing. I think we should be less worried about breaking a fast and be more on top of what it is that we're eating or what it is that we're breaking a fast with. This is why we do the Target Trifecta smoothie. We have the 3 things, you guys, and you know what the 3 things are? Throw the hearts if you know what they are. And I want to see somebody put I'm not going to tell you what the 3 things are. I want to see how good of students you are. Tell me what the 3 things are that we have for a Target Trifecta, for a smoothie or for a plate. If we have this information, we can take this information with us wherever we go. This is how we get off the carousel of crazy and stop the whole diet routine. Marla has posted those lovely plates showing exactly how this works. So even if you don't have a plate, you can have the visual of what this looks like, right? You know what it is. So I'm still waiting for somebody to put the Target Trifecta 3 things in there. I'm just waiting very patiently. This is an anonymous one, okay? And it says, I have questions about blood sugar. I turned 40 a few months ago, and I've been noticing, this never happened before moments. Over the past year or longer, I've noticed signs of perimenopause. Joint pain normally wasn't there. Periodic rosacea, dizziness. I have regular migraines since my early 20s. My ears have been ringing for the past 7 years with no break at all. Oh, girl, I'm just going to interject right there. I see food sensitivities. Terry wins! Ding, ding, ding! Protein, fat, and fiber. Target Trifecta. There you go. Letha, good luck on your mammogram. I hope to see you later. Yep, Bobby forgot the fiber. That's okay. We all know what it is now, right? Keep it up. So she said, listen, when you have periodic rosacea, I bet if you took a food journal that you would see there's a definite connection between that and the dairy. Having gone that route, I certainly know about that. Dizziness too, could be blood sugar instabilities, migraines, food sensitivities a lot of times. And honestly, this is what we always have to look at, right? We always have to look at food sensitivities first. You can test that yourself. You can find a food sensitivity test, and I've even seen them on Groupon, for heaven's sakes. It's done with blood. You poke your finger, ... on the card that they give you, send it in, they send you back what your results are. Now, 100% reliable all the time? Yes and no. But it's a good start. You need this information. We always need to be looking at the information. A food journal will show you sometimes the things that are working for you and the things that aren't. If you are keeping a food journal and you're writing next to it what exactly is going on, it will help. So she said she's always been about 15 to 20 pounds overweight, if not more. As I try to get to the roots of the migraines and tinnitus, I'm also searching for ways to improve my overall health. I started reading Body Clutter this week. Yes, even though she's on the book for more than 4 years. Is that you? Read the book. I also made my first batch of bone broth this week and started adding Epsom salts to my bedtime routine. She's listening. Yay. I've listened to your videos about checking ketones and blood sugar. I did the search for blood sugar testers, but quite honestly, I have no idea what I'm looking for as far as devices go or what a normal blood sugar level should be for me. Okay, so here's the thing. Before you go into the whole device place, let me just explain the trail to the devices. This is not a normal need to do kind of a thing. Let me explain why Marla and I do it, okay? Marla and I are doing it because we're on a book. We're doing a book right now. We're using ourselves as guinea pigs. This is why we're doing it. It is not a sustainable thing for the long haul. My whole thing is to try to create something. Remember I just said the Target trifecta? I want you to have that image of a Target trifecta plate when you go out to dinner so you know what to do. You can monitor and you can pee on a stick. You can do a blood thing, whatever. The whole point is this. If you find something that works for you on an ongoing basis and eliminates a lot of these symptoms, you're going to feel better. It's going to show up on the scale. It's going to show up in your symptoms, and you're going to see this on a regular basis. I've seen it with hundreds, if not thousands, of people over and over and over again. It is not necessary to do all of this. You can, but you don't have to. And for when I look at this and I see all of these things, I say start with the blood sensitivity thing, get yourself onto the sprint, do the sprint for a week and see how that helps with the symptoms. And that's a place to start. Then do the food journal. All of these things add up, and it gives you information and shows you what it is that you need to do to personalize this journey for yourself. This is the key that you will not see with all the weight loss gurus out there. But it is a personal journey. It is personal, and it has to line up with you, your lifestyle, and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Period. If you try to do what everybody else is doing and trying to squeeze that square peg into a round hole, you're going to find yourself going, it's exhausting. I just give up. I can't do it. This is what you have to do. I want this to fit your lifestyle. Now, if part of your lifestyle is you are a data junkie, then go get yourself a blood sugar monitor and all that. And there's 100 of them out there. Does it matter which one? Not really. Go look and see what the reviews are, see what the price point is, and get that one for yourself. Keep a spreadsheet. Marla has a spreadsheet, and it's fantastic. She keeps track of all of this stuff. But get this. This is the important thing. This lights her up. This is part of her process. This is the key that's a part of opening up, the next door for her journey. It's for her, this works. It doesn't necessarily need to be for you. Okay? So I'm giving you that kind of latitude. You have to define this for yourself. And you don't have to do this. You can, but you don't have to. All right? There you go. Okay. So she's a homeschool mom of 3 kids. It sounds to me like you're busy. When she's out of commission for days at a time with a migraine or too tired to get through the average day, girlfriend's food sensitivities. Let's start there, do the food journal, and let's see what happens for you. Thank you for your ongoing encouragement and in your books. It's very appreciated and resourceful. Her name is Sarah. So thanks, Sarah, for that one. This one's from Betsy. I'm curious about all the buzz about alkaline water and what your opinion is. I am a water drinker. I've stayed hydrated, but wasn't sure if it's something I should do along with my filtered water and if it would be beneficial to my health. There's lots of pros and cons. Should I save my money? Yes. Save your money. Here's what you need, okay? This is bottom line. We do a lot of alkaline type of eating. In our, alkaline food is more or less greens and things that cool inflammation. Acidic food you're going to see is like in proteins and dairy and a few things like that. Now, you can't just do 100% alkaline. We are always looking for the pH. pH is the power of hydrogen, which means balance. And balance is important. And what the problem is that most people are generally on a very acidic diet because it's a lot of processed foods. A lot of seed oils. We've talked about those before, a lot of flours and what have you. So the balance of what we need to have is that we have to honor our body's need for protein. We have to honor our body's need for fat. Without fat, we have hormones that don't work. We also need to add in there some fiber so that we don't get constipated. Our digestive process has to be sacrosanct. We have to honor that. And it means drinking water. It means having a somewhat alkaline diet with all the green that we eat and having in the stuff that we need. When we go with the Target Trifecta, we're hitting it on all cylinders. This is why we do it. And this is why I have the 3 things. And this is why we call it what we call it, so you can remember. So if you go and you make a Target Trifecta meal, great. But if you go out to dinner, you know what a Target Trifecta meal is going to look like, and you can create it right there in a restaurant. See? It's easy. And so let's keep it simple, and let's look instead, we're not looking for potions and magic and what have you. And, my supplements aren't magical either. You know what my supplements are? My supplements are the supplement to an already healthy diet. And they just take your results and take them further. That's it. That's what they do. And it's consistency. Again, back to the simple consistency. You can't take 1 or 2, supplements and say, hey, here, I took a bottle of this and it didn't work. Well, it takes time. I've been taking our new beauty support now for almost 2 months, and I have noticed a big difference in my skin. My skin has gotten a lot better. It supports the collagen loading that I'm doing and all the bone broth that I'm drinking. All of these things help. Every 27 days, we get new skin cells. What if we did things to really help our bodies when they create the new skin cells? I don't want saggy skin in my weight loss journey. Right here, I'm always like, oh, my neck. Women of a certain age, we are all about our necks, aren't we? But keeping it simple and being consistent, this is the key. There is no magic pill. There is no magic supplement. There is no magic anything. The magic that you are seeking is within. It is within. And it's consistency. That's one of the biggest pieces of how all of this works. And when you have consistency, then you have momentum. When you have momentum, you are unstoppable. It's a physics thing. And we have that inside. Yay! Mary asks, I am confused. When you are on a fast, can you continue to drink liquids? Liquid as in water, as in coffee, if you're doing a straight fast. Most of your fasting, if you're intermittent fasting, if you're using it, should be done at night when you're sleeping. And when you're sleeping, you're not drinking much. You're just sleeping. So that's how that works. So you can have coffee, you can black, you can have tea, you can have all of that. If you want to go with the way of, let's just say you want to do a dirty fast, that's under 500 calories, and it's a whole different thing, And dirty fasting, I explain in detail what that is. It's in the sprint. I've explained that in the sprint. I've also explained that in other places, I think. Speaking of the sprint, after this, I'm going to jump into the sprint group to see how everybody is doing on a Facebook Live. So, hop into the sprint group and go support, because because we want to get through the weekend in a bright and shiny way, right? We want to end this sprint on a positive note. Super important. I am a returning flybaby after being gone for 13 years. I'm so happy to be back, and hearing your sessions each day has helped me believe I am powerful again. You are inspiring and motivating and impactful. Thank you. My husband and I eat pretty much the same thing every day, other than he drinks coffee and I drink tea. Why does he crave salty snacks such as potato chips and pretzels while I crave chocolate? Or anything if no sugar, if no chocolate is available. I thought our cravings were based on nutritional deficits, but this doesn't seem to be the case for us. What else determines cravings? This is a good question. A long time ago, there was this whole chart that they had out. If you are magnesium deficient, you are craving chocolate. If you're sodium deficient or potassium deficient, you are craving salty. If you have a crunchy thing, you are craving whatever. And I think I even put it in one of my books a while ago. But the research since has shown us that this just is not the case. It's a preference. It is a preference. And we all have our preferences, don't we? I know I do. And when it comes to those kind of things, we just have to be completely we have to be on task as far as understanding what this is all about. And that means that we can't be afraid of salt. Now, you've all heard Marla's story about the salt and leaving the salt shaker behind and all of that. And her story is absolutely 100% spot on. And now what I'm going to tell you is going to sound contradictory, but it's not. Marla eats dinner out most every night, and restaurants are notorious for adding a lot of salt to their cooking. They just do. So when she goes out, she has broken the salt shaker habit, and when her food comes, she doesn't automatically do one of these. She's just said no to that. She eats it without the salt. And she's figured out for herself that she was oversalting everything, and it's one of the reasons why she brought down her inflammation, and she had a lot more power over that. Salt is important. It is an important component. It's one of the things that's in the hot melt mix, because salt, magnesium, and potassium, all three things, go together. So when I say this, and I want to also just emphasize the fact that Marla has very much been in touch with what it is that she needs, and what it is that her body got rid of all of that salt. She went from cankles to ankles, and beautiful toes and skinny fingers with her rings that twirl around, because she ditched the salt shaker habit. So the salt shaker habit is a bad habit that all of us need to ditch. We need to taste our food before we put salt on it. When you're cooking food, sodium is okay. That little bit of sodium is really going to help. So pink salt, we want to do pink salt. We don't want to do sea salt anymore because they're finding microplastics in it. We don't want to do traditional table salt. There's dextrose in it, so that's sugar, and other stuff to make it pourable. And also those little crystals, if you put them in a glass of water, they just don't seem to want to give it up. They stay crystallized. We want stuff that has all of those minerals in it. We want stuff that tastes delicious. We want things that have just that little bit of salt. And I promise you, it's not going to be a problem. Salt is not the enemy. Bad salt is the enemy. Oversalting and having a salt shaker problem, that is the enemy as well. Taste first and then correct later. Kosher salt is regular salt that's gone through a roller. It's better. It doesn't, because the crystals don't stay together, but I prefer, if you've ever done a salt tasting, it's very interesting. Salt, all of the different salts have a lot of very crazy different flavors. You can get stuff that tastes just really salt and acrid and just like regular table salt. But then taste a pink salt, taste a black salt from Hawaii, taste a red salt, taste some different salts. If you go to like a Whole Foods or someplace like that, they have a whole salt bar with about 8 different salts that you can try. And I brought home a bunch of containers one time. I made the lady at the checkout crazy. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I tried them all at home, and I've used them in cooking, and there is a bit of a difference. But salt works, it works. They said low sodium, but I use real salt. Do I need to cut that out? I'm sorry. I think real salt is important. Real salt has the full spectrum of the minerals. It has iodine in it naturally. So, I like it. I like it. Yes, Redmond's real salt is really good. And, I use pink Himalayan as well, which is good, and it has nothing in it. So there you go. Let's see, what else do we have here? So, and the chocolate thing is just a sugar habit. Let's be real about that. Eileen, you can get salt with iodine. Pink salt has iodine in it naturally. You don't have to have iodine added in there. If you're using a full spectrum salt, like I'm talking about, like pink salt, it already has it in there. And just, let's just take a look at all of that, because we just really need to be watching what salt we're using. Believe it or not, something that basic is important. Even pepper. Pepper has essential oils in it. That little flat stuff that's already in the can or whatever that's already ground up, it's worthless. So try a black pepper thing. Yeah, that works. Pink Himalayan. Sharon, I'm with you. So chocolate is sugar. Chocolate is sugar. It's just a preference. So we just need to dump the sugar habit. We all know about what that's about. And you all know about my story with chocolate and the big... overabundant chocolate use that I've had over the years in my life, and just getting rid of that, finally just get rid of that habit, I decided it just doesn't work for me. It needs to go. So don't ever say anything in moderation to me. My hair will stand straight up like this. Not everything in moderation. Some people just cannot handle that. So do not prescribe what you can do. Make sure that you're saying however it works for you. This is how we respect other people. That's why I can't stand it when people say that. It just makes you crazy. Can you wake up with a scoop of hot milk and then another scoop in the afternoon? What's the best way to take it? This is from Vanessa. And how often? Well, the best way to take, you can wake up with it, and you can go ahead with that and just, have it when you want it, and if it makes you feel better, by all means, you can. And the best time to take it is when it works for you. I'm going to say this. I think getting our electrolytes in the afternoon is super helpful, because that is when we all normally sag anyway. And this helps, especially if you are keto. We need these electrolytes. Our body is using all of those things to create the ketones and to help our body process all the fat that we're processing. So why wouldn't we take advantage of that sag that we naturally have and just get a little bit of energy? I notice this energizes me, and it is good for your muscles. It's good for everything that ails you, I think. And it really helps, because that MCT oil too, brain power, I love it. And, my afternoons, I'm usually doing a consult with some of our Hot Milk Club members. I have anywhere from 3 to 6 a day, and I have to be on top of it, because I am looking at somebody's information and they are spending 30 minutes, valuable time with me. And I need to be ready to fire off and say, this is what you need to do, because I'm helping them to create a personalized plan. And for me, this is my favorite thing to do, and I need to be sharp. This helps me out. I believe it with all my heart. It's a big difference between before hot milk mix and now. I am sharp. And I'm on top of it. I've noticed that ACV, apple cider vinegar, always stirs my appetite. That's interesting. I wasn't too hungry before, but now I am. Is that a normal reaction? Well, here's the thing. My advice with apple cider vinegar is that you use it right before you eat a meal. So is it which came first, the chicken or the egg? Is the apple cider vinegar, or is it just that you smell the food and you're getting ready to eat? I don't know. I haven't seen that from other people telling me that. I looked online to see. I haven't seen anybody say that, though that doesn't mean that anybody hasn't. But, apple cider vinegar, understand this, it helps you with blood sugar metabolism. It's very helpful with that. It's also a prebiotic. It goes into the body, right into the stomach, and right into your digestive tract, into your intestinal tract. And it is a prebiotic. It feeds all of those good bacteria that are in there. And it's like a meal service. That's always how I think about it when I drink it. It's really good stuff. It's really excellent stuff. Marianne's saying iodine's been removed from a lot of salts. I don't know which salts it's been removed from, but if you're doing a full spectrum salt like I'm talking about, you don't have to worry about that. So that's what I would say about ACV. Beauty support is recommended twice a day. Yes, AM and PM. You can do it once if you want, or you can do it twice. I am doing it twice simply because I have been when I get a new supplement, I get it before you guys do. And I experiment with myself. I have a big discussion with Todd, our supplement guy. I told you, my supplement guru. He knows everything. This guy's been in this business for 25 years with a company that manufactures supplements the same way a pharmaceutical company will. Everything is batch tested. It is clean. It is sincerely, it is perfection all the way. They know what they're doing. They test all of the raw ingredients as they come in, and they are isolated for 30 days to make sure that there's no cooties in there. So when he tells me this is something that has had, this is the studies that come from it, this is what we're doing with it, these are the reasons why, I listen. And then I'll say, okay, I'll get myself a bottle and I will test it and see how it's working. And within 30 days, 60 days, if I like it and I think it's something that's going to benefit you, you will see it. I will introduce it. Well, beauty support, we had on the shelf for approximately 10 minutes and it was gone. We just made a big order for it. So it is on back order. But let me just say this. The way that this works is it not only remodels your skin, but it also is working. It's going to be working on your pancreas. If you have diabetes, hello, that your little pancreas needs a little help. It also is working on with collagen, and it's almost, I say it's almost like a prebiotic that's feeding your collagen. We need the collagen. I'm going to tell you, collagen load sisters like nobody's business, and intermittently fast. Those two things, if you don't want saggy skin and you're on a weight loss journey, those are critical, as well as get your sleep, hydrate, etc. But those two things, add those in. But the second part of it, the thing is, look for supplements that support the things that you're trying to do. And that's why I introduced Beauty Support. It's amazing. Take a look at it. It's on our website. So yes, AM and PM, on an empty stomach, I have three things that I take. I take InflaCrusher, I take Beauty Support, and I take our Get Lean probiotic, which works together with the Fiber Mender to help you lose weight naturally without having to do anything. But doing something is a really good idea, right? There we go. Oh my goodness. I did it. I got through it, and it didn't take a whole hour. So before I leave you, I'm going to give you a couple things. One thing, that somebody sent me this question, and I thought this was really interesting. She said, and it was something along the lines of, I want to have it all, or I'm trying to do all of these things. And the whole idea of having it all kind of hit me. Because I remember as a young mom, just with two children, 2 years, less than 2 years apart, and homeschooling and homesteading and doing all these things. It was just like, how do I get it all done? Well, you know my story, and I ended up being a fly baby. It's toot sweet, and it really made all the difference in the world. It set me up. So as I look back, and all these years later, first doing all of this, and now with grown children, and my whole life is changed. Children grow up and they leave your home. It happens. But I look at these and I wrote down, like, what is it that helped me out? And the thing that I really recognized is that this idea of having it all at one time is an incredible myth that I don't know who came up with it, but it's not true. And I recognize too, as I look, at what I did well and what I didn't do well, that when I committed to doing the things that I could do in the time period that I did have, considering all the constraints that I had in my life, then I recognize that while I didn't have it all, I did have certain things. I committed to being a good writer, and I've written 10 books, and I have had, I have a newspaper column that goes out every week. I have all these things that I show as accomplishments for committing myself to being a good writer. So I have that. I committed myself to my children, and to helping them, and to schooling them, and to making sure that they were, incredible adults once they grew up. And, it was a 2-for-1 thing. I had one child who kind of went off the deep end a little bit. It happens. Even, I hate it when people, you want to get on my bad side, you say this, well, he came from a good home, Let me just say this. Your children have their own bent. They do. And they're going to do what they're going to do, regardless of what it is that you say. Because I used to say this, my children, I feel like my daughter was raised in the home and my son was raised by wolves in the backyard. I have said that on occasion simply because I didn't understand what happened here. Why did he choose drugs? Why did he choose to go off the wrong path? And I'm here to tell you, it happens. Despite our best efforts, there are things that happen. I have a couple of girlfriends who've had children who have died from suicide. What happened there? Do we blame her, or do we just simply understand that over here, while things were happening, your child has an inner life that you know nothing about? So it isn't always your parenting that should be putting you in parental jail and saying that you can't do it right. It's not about doing it right. You know what it's about? It's about doing your best. It's about having the spirit of excellence and doing everything that you can, everything that is within your power, regardless of what life deals and gives you coming your way. It's so bogus when people say things like that, and they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth. They have not been through some of the hardship that maybe you have been through. And I will tell you, it's given me a heart for women who have had children who have gone astray. You know, I have stood on stages and talked about the importance of the family dinner table and how the family dinner table will help you so your children won't go astray. So your children will get good grades in school. So your children will thrive and be better than they've ever been. And it's true, but it's not a guarantee. Your children are going to do what they're going to do. They are individuals. They have an inner life you know nothing about. So the best you can do is to love them up, give them the guidelines that you give them, and to understand them on the level that you can. You know, as best you can. You are a human being raising another human. And anybody who puts you down because your child has decided to do something that is contrary to your values doesn't deserve to be your friend. Okay? That's what I have to say about that. The other thing is, how many times am I going to ever say this? I'm going to say it a lot. And that is that habit stacking and creating routines in your life is absolutely crucial. If you do not have those bookends with the morning routine and the evening routine, stop what you're doing and create them. It's going to stop you from rushing around like a chicken with your head cut off. And then when you can start adding some of these healthy habits for caring for yourself onto those routines, you will see your life change one day at a time. It's the simple consistency we've been talking about, and it makes all the difference. And then you have to assess, you have to strategize, and you have to execute. Assess, change, and be loose with what it is that you are giving yourself to do. Sometimes you give yourself too much, and don't beat yourself up because you have to take something or a few things out of your routine. Just get those routines down. And when you get those routines down, then you can start adding things in and piggyback on something you're already doing. It makes all the difference. It changes your life. And then the other thing is, I'm going to say this, and you've heard me say this about 1 billion times, but it's worth saying again. When you say, but I'm struggling with this, it's so hard, I'm overwhelmed, I don't have time, it's easy for everybody else, it's hard for me, blah, 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 blah. Why are you doing this? You are training your brain to look for struggle and find it, to look for overwhelm and find it, to make it too hard, to make it so that you're paralyzed and you can't move. Your language needs to change. Your language needs to reflect the life that you are trying to create. Does this support the life I'm trying to create? Write that down. Write that down and look at that. Put that card in your bathroom. Put it everywhere. And really put yourself on check. And Marla said, I am strong. Yes, you are. And Marla is strong right now. And, she's going through a lot. Your prayers are so appreciated. When our families get dinged like this and we have things that we're dealing with our families, our hearts, it's tough. It's really hard. It is hard. That is a hard place. But she can replace that hard place with, I am strong. God has tasked her with being the matriarch of their family. What an honor. What a privilege. And she's treating it as such. And she is strong, she is capable, and she is able, and so are you. We all have a purpose. Marla's purpose, we know her purpose as Fly Lady, right? We know her purpose. How many thousands, probably hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people did she bring from the brink of just giving up into having a life and a home that brings them joy? How many people can you touch like that? How many people can you touch like that because you're watching your language and you're changing it for the better? This is your purpose. This is your life. This is your capability. So don't don't brush off your language. Instead, embrace a new way of speaking about yourself embrace a new way of doing things, and create those routines that support the kind of life that you are trying to live, right? Support the life that you're trying to create and live. This is what it's all about. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. It's Friday, and I will say, by the way, if you have gotten an email about the Hot Milk Club, we have a code that expires on Sunday. Take advantage of it. Get into the Hot Milk Club and get the yearly membership, and you and I will have a one-on-one. And guess what happens from there? We will create a personal plan that you can use for the rest of your life. That's what we do. That's what we're doing in the club. It's pretty amazing, and I hope you're going to be a part of it. Thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget, tea time's at 3 o'clock. I will not be there. I will be on a consultation today. I've got quite the docket, and I've got one coming up in 10 minutes, so I'm going to bump off. I will say peace, love, and Bobby Sherman, right? Happy Friday. I'll see you guys later. Bye.